Okay, so we have about 3 weeks to get through this unit. You think we can do it?
We would not be able to do that.
Wait,
It's only 2 lessons, so there's not all that much to get through. But that does mean that when we are doing notes and stuff that we really need to be on. Okay? So, Unit 5, we are going to be talking about cells and how they are stable, what they do to be stable, and what changes they undergo. Okay, so we should know some stuff about cells, right? Cells are not a completely new concept to us. So what are some things about cells that we know? No.
They make up our body.
Okay, make up our body.
They
They're the smallest.
Reproduce.
They have red.
Smallest living units.
They're red.
They're not necessarily red. Those are just
They're red and white.
not necessarily.
And blue.
Because plant cells are green.
Orange cells are orange.
They're different colors.
They're not necessarily different colors. There's only like 5 colors they can be. So. There's 9
Okay.
colors in the rainbow.
All right, so 16% of your body weight is skin. The skin is the largest organ of the body. Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you know skin is an organ? Okay. It is made up of thousands of cells. Millions of cells, probably. Thousands of those are lost every single hour.
Why?
Why? Why do you lose cells?
They die.
Why do your skin
Bathroom.
cells?
And then it creates dust.
Bathroom. You go to the bathroom.
Okay, so we have a base layer of our cells that make up our skin, and they move outward, and as they move outward, they die because they don't have a blood supply to them. And so then we shed those all the time. Every single time that your skin is in contact with something, it's going to shed those dead cells. And it's important to shed those dead cells because if we didn't, what would happen?
They would build up.
They would build up and we'd have really thick skin in those areas, and then we would probably look really weird. Okay? So, we lose those cells, but how do you think multicellular organisms, such as humans, replace lost cells then?
Why?
Ben already said it.
They reproduce.
They reproduce. They go through a process in order to make new cells that help to keep us living. Okay? So, we're going to be examining some of these things as we go through this chapter. I'm on page 221 right now. Okay, very opening. Okay, on page 221, 221, we have some driving questions there. So these are very similar to the objectives or the key concepts that we had last year. Okay, so just some things that we might not know the answers to them now, but at the end of the chapter, we should be able to answer these things. So, how do organisms balance the growth and division of their cells? I don't expect you to answer them. These are the things that we're going to be able to answer at the end of the... We are actually going to answer those at the end of the chapter. So yes, they are listed there on your paper. We will answer those at the end of the chapter though, okay? Because we don't know the answers to those yet. Do you have an idea?
No.
Maybe, maybe not, okay? How do organisms replace lost or damaged cells?
Reproduce.
More to it than that though, but yes. Do all cells grow and divide in the same way and at the same rate?
No.
And how do organisms with many cell types develop from a single cell? Okay, so things to kind of keep in mind as we go through our notes. So, on to lesson 1 then, which is on page 222. Every single lesson starts with a "can you explain it?" Again, this is very similar to what we had last year in your physical science book, where we started each lesson with a picture. Okay. So we have this, can you explain it, that we start with, and then we go back to it at the end of each lesson as well to see if we actually can explain that. So cells come from existing cells. And we have this little video here. It's kind of neat.
That is a neat little dot.
Is that a fish?
It is a cell, actually.
A cell of what though?
Let's see.
Test time and grow together, rocking our chairs and talking.
Okay, so what was the point of that?
Showing us how the cells could like
Some kind of baby growth.
split or whatever the thing's called.
How
So-
cells develop.
Every single one of us in this room started off as a single cell, right?
Yep.
How did we go from that single cell to the very complex multi-celled organisms that we are?
They're developing.
So this is the process we're going to kind of talk about, that cell differentiation process and the developmental process that takes place from the time of fertilization to up to your birth, and then the changes that take place throughout your lifetime as well. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about how just a single cell will replicate into a new cell.
Oh, that was cool. The curtains.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
do
might
it.
Yeah.
replay it.
I missed it.
Dad, can you replay?
Redo it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh man.
that's cool.
Wait,
Oh.
wait, one more time. Please.
She broke it.
I did break it.
Oh, that one's not.
Come on. Oh.
Wait,
Wow.
wait, can you do it one more time?
No.
Please. Just one.
No.
He's gone, get away. He's trying to waste time.
What? So reproduction of unicellular organisms can take as little as 20 minutes. What do I mean by unicellular? Uni means
More than
one. Uni means one. So we have unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. So those unicellular organisms, an organism that consists of a single cell, can reproduce in little as 20 minutes. So every 20 minutes, new organisms are created. Multicellular organisms, such as us, began from a single cell called a zygote. And it will multiply rapidly to become specialized cells. So all of the cells that we have in our body that make us be able to function. And different types of reproduction. We have asexual reproduction versus sexual reproduction. Asexual meaning that only one parent is needed in order for reproduction to take place. That's how your unicellular organisms are going to reproduce. However, multicellular organisms must go through sexual reproduction in order to create more of those multicellular organisms. Okay, should be a question for you on your paper. Question 6, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
6.
5.
You just skip the whole
5 is how do organisms balance the growth and vision of their cells? You don't look at it.
I was looking at it. Well, ignore me then.
We really need them.
So why aren't all organisms made up of just one cell? What do we think?
Because then they would be the same.
Everything would be the same, right? To an extent, being that they are unicellular. However, there are different species of organisms that are unicellular, so they're not exactly the same, but they have a lot of similarities to them, and life wouldn't be nearly as diverse, right?
Yep.
Okay. And why do cells divide instead of simply growing larger? So cells will grow and grow and grow until they get to basically a certain size, and then they will go through that splitting process. Why do you think that is? This one you might not know.
Because.
So they're at their fullest capabilities when they split.
You have no idea.
Connor's a smart
I
cookie.
know.
Okay, this is one of the things we are going to explore in this chapter, why they will split instead of continuing to grow larger. So, you may or may not know that yet.
I do. I just threw a little curveball at you.
Okay. All right. So in exploration 1, we are going to be looking at the overview of the cell cycle. What is actually happening in that cell cycle? So living systems will alternate between stable conditions and changing conditions. This book really focuses on things being a system. And so us as individuals are a system. Okay, and a system is made up of components that interact, and then those components have a boundary that surround them from the external world, and then we have inputs and outputs of a system. Okay, so those are some things to remember as we go through this, as we talk about systems. So living systems, like humans or other animals or plants, okay, will alternate between stable conditions and changing conditions. Changes in environments can cause homeostatic mechanisms to restore internal stability. What do we know about homeostasis?
It's homie.
What is homeostasis?
Homeostasis is the stasis that is homeostasis.
No. It's how systems
Yes.
try to keep things at